the other piece of good news is this allows us today, November 12th, here at the beginning of MLB Free Agency, to unveil our official free agency bingo cards. We have taken the top free agents in Major League Baseball, and today, here at the onset of free agency, we are going to all predict where each guy ends up. And I've been inspired by Tiki. Tiki created a point system for Mike Kafka keeping his job. We have a point system on how you can win MLB Free Agency Bingo. If you are correct and that person re-signs with their team, you get 1 point. If you are correct and that person goes to another team, that's 2 points. If you get it wrong, no harm, no foul. So, ladies and gentlemen, let us begin MLB Free Agency Bingo, and let us begin with Pete Alonso. This is the one that we were all nervous about. We're all excited about. I've got no indication from David Stearns one way or the other on what his thinking is, but I will officially predict. And again, this is a prediction, not what I want. I would like to officially predict that Pete Alonso will be a member of the Boston Red Sox in 2026. Tiki Barber.
I think Pete Alonso, God, there's so many places that could use him. Boston, obviously, the Yankees, Seattle even. I think I'm going to say he stays.
Wow, staying with the Mets.
Yep. I think the conversation that we started yesterday, or maybe it was 2 days ago, about Stearns needing to defer to Steve Cohen on certain guys.
Right.
Pete qualifies.
To quote Joe Beningo, from your lips,
They
bro,
better sign him.
to God's ears. Shaun Morash, Pete Alonso.
I really wish I could have fun with this, but I think he's staying. I think he's a Met.
Tommy Lugauer.
To modify a quote from the late, great Macho Man, Pete Alonso is a Met, and he will remain a Met.
Wow, I'm the outlier. So I'm the one guy who's like, yeah, he's gone. Let's move on to Cody Bellinger. Cody Bellinger. I'll kick things off by saying he will remain with the New York Yankees. Tiki Barber.
It's hard for me to disagree with you. I think Cody Bellinger stays. He was too good and versatile.
Shaun Morash.
Yankee.
Yankees and Tommy Lugauer.
Cody Bellinger has the same real estate agent that Juan Soto has. You rent in the Bronx, you buy in Queens. Cody Bellinger will be a Met.
I knew that was coming. All right. Edwin Díaz. And it pains me to say this.
This is easy.
But Edwin Díaz is going to be a Los Angeles Dodger.
What?
Yeah. I feel it because the Dodgers are going to be most aggressive adding a late-inning reliever. That is clearly what their biggest need would be. You'll hear them attach to guys like Kyle Tucker, but the truth is their biggest need is a late-inning reliever. They failed on it last year with Tanner Scott and Kirby Yates. I think that they'll go get the best one out there. And it scares me half to death because I don't know how, as Met fans, even Yankee fans, but more so Met fans, how we are going to stomach the best closer in the sport going to the two-time defending world champions. But, yeah, I think Edwin Díaz is going to be a Los Angeles Dodger. Tiki.
I mean, that just feels like evil. I think the Dodgers might spend their money elsewhere. I'm going to say the Baltimore Orioles.
Wow, okay. By the way, you should get 3 points for that. If that happens. Shaun Morash.
New York Yankees.
Oh, come on.
Oh, man.
No.
I feel like that could become the biggest surprise here where the Yankees come out of nowhere as one last Cashman smirking FU to the Mets.
That would be something. Imagine that bullpen.
That would be the swerve of all swerves.
Yes.
You take Soto? Take this.
And I'll admit this to you. Díaz to the Dodgers will bother me more than Díaz to the Yankees. I won't like either. I mean, honestly,
Right.
Edwin Díaz leaving for any team would pain me, but Díaz to the Dodgers would bother me more. But all right, Shaun goes Yankees. Tommy Lugauer.
I think Edwin Díaz will be the first major free agent to sign. He will re-sign with the Mets.
So,
Díaz.
by the way, just in case you're keeping track, which I am, Tommy has predicted all 3 free agents to sign with the New York Mets. Just so we know. Let's go to Kyle Tucker. I think Kyle Tucker is going to end up with the Philadelphia Phillies. I do. I think the Phillies are about to make major changes over their underachieving in the postseason the last couple of years.
Is he the top free agent available, you think?
I think he is.
28? Yeah, almost 29.
I think based on his projections, like he's projected to get a $400 million contract. So I think in terms of money,
wow,
he will end up being the biggest free agent. And the Phillies have been involved in this. I mean, this wouldn't be new for them. So I'm going to go with Kyle Tucker to the Philadelphia Phillies. Tiki Barber.
This is a hard one. I think there's one team that can pay him what he's worth. Los Angeles Dodgers.
The Dodgers. Shaun Morash.
After some maneuvering with a trade of their own star, I think he's going to be a San Diego Padre.
Oh, a Padre. That's a good one. Tommy
Who they
Lugauer.
Tatis?
I think they could move Tatis this offseason.
Interesting.
Kyle Tucker will sign with the Toronto Blue Jays.
That's a good one. I like that one. That's a good one. Kyle Schwarber.
They're going to try to spend money.
Yep.
We know it.
They are, and they have had a tough time getting people to accept it, but maybe getting to the 7th game of the World Series helps a tad. Kyle Schwarber is clearly, based on everything I've said, leaving the Philadelphia Phillies. I don't think they would be.
Why do you think he's leaving?
Because they're signing Kyle Tucker. I think you got to follow the connections on this. And for that reason, I think he ends up being Pete Alonso's replacement. I think Kyle Schwarber signs with the New York Mets. Tiki Barber.
I have him staying in Philly.
Staying with the Phillies,
Right?
okay.
If there was one thing that was continuously right about the Philadelphia Phillies, it was Kyle Schwarber.
Fair guess.
Including the All-Star break.
The All-Star break.
Did he have the home runs? The home run derby?
Oh!
In the swing off, it was Schwarber.
Oh, I can't believe you remember that.
Only because of the stupid swing off.
I barely remember that.
Evan, you forgot me and Tiki did 4 hours on that.
Yes.
Evan was in
You were on
Italy.
vacation.
I was elsewhere.
You were looking at naked women on the beach in the south of France.
Excuse me.
Weren't you?
No. Shaun Morash, Kyle Schwarber.
After a trade of Jaron Duran, Schwarber's a Red Sox.
Back to Boston. How about that? Tommy Lugauer.
Phillies can't afford to lose Schwarber. Kyle Schwarber stays in Philadelphia.
Alex Bregman. This one's tricky. I'm going to circle back to last year's free agency and say that Detroit is going to take that next step. They also realize they're not going to sign Tarik Skubal, so I think they're going to be aggressive to try to win right now, whether Skubal's on the team or not, because I think they'll get a massive return. So I'm going to go with Alex Bregman picking the Detroit Tigers.
This feels to me like he's going to stay. So I'm going to say Boston Red Sox.
Shaun Morash.
Seattle Mariners.
That's a good one.
That's a good one.
That's a good one. Tommy Lugauer, Alex Bregman.
I'm not sure exactly how this works, but Alex Bregman feels like a Philly to me. So I'm going to say Alex Bregman to the Phillies.
That is not a bad pick at all, because I think the Phillies are going to move on from Alec Boehm at third base.
Okay, then
and
there
so
you go.
it makes complete sense. Like, I think they're going to do something big. My big is Tucker. Your big is Alex Bregman. I think that's a great prediction. Bo Bichette, I have staying with the Toronto Blue Jays. Tiki Barber.
Same.
Shaun Morash.
I think he stays.
We're all going Blue Jays. Tommy Lugauer.
Clean sweep. He stays.
Munetaka Murakami.
Dodgers.
Where will he play?
Dodgers.
All right, I'm going to go with the Seattle Mariners. I think the Mariners will make one big move.
West Coast. Stay there.
I think they're going to lose Josh Naylor, and obviously they have a history dipping into the Japanese market. So I'm going to go with Munetaka Murakami to the Mariners. Shaun Morash.
Angels.
Angels.
Why
Why?
not?
Because they had success getting Ohtani.
Dodgers don't have room for now. Let me get close enough to L.A. and sit over there with those guys.
And West Coast is a preference for a lot of Japanese ball players. Tommy Lugauer, Munetaka Murakami.
Yeah, I'm going to go Seattle. I think Josh Naylor leaves, and that's the replacement.
Copying my idea, that's okay. Speaking of Josh Naylor, we'll include him, the last of the position players. I have him going to Cincinnati. I could see the Reds making a mini splash, but not a huge splash, and Josh Naylor would fit that, even though he would make quite a splash if he jumped in cannonball style into a pool. I'm going to go Josh Naylor to Cincinnati. Tiki Barber.
This is a hard one. I'm going to go Seattle.
Stays with the Mariners.
Yep.
Shaun Morash.
Minnesota Twins.
Oh, come on. They're selling
Just
everybody.
picking?
I'm going through everybody's needs and what their budget is. I'm actually doing my homework here.
Okay.
Again, this one will get him 3 points, by the way.
Yes.
That'll get you 3. Just like Edwin Díaz going to the Orioles. Tommy Lugauer, Josh Naylor.
Josh Naylor, this is my prediction. I want this to happen so badly. Josh Naylor to the Red Sox.
To the Red Sox. He looks like a Red Sox.
Oh, and the Yankee fans already hate him. Give me that.
All right, let's get to the pitchers. It was tough, like which pitcher should we get to
Right.
besides Edwin Díaz, so I picked a few. Let's go with Framber Valdez, who is considered the premier pitcher on the market. I have him going to the Chicago Cubs. Framber Valdez to the Chicago Cubs. Tiki Barber!
I think Framber Valdez goes to the Toronto Blue Jays. They're going to spend money.
Jays. Shaun Morash, Framber Valdez.
I like that one, but I'm going to go Cubs.
Oh, you copied me. Okay. I think I know what you guys do.
first
You
of
don't
all-
know an answer. Just copy Evan.
Well, first of all, in typical Evan fashion, we're on our 15th guy, and you've gone first on all of them, so it's hard not to copy.
Why
It's hard
can't I
not
go
to
first?
copy.
Yeah, you're right.
I try to help you. Tommy Lugauer, Framber Valdez.
Framber will go to the Boston Red Sox.
To the Red Sox. Tatsuya Imai, who's considered one of the premier pitchers coming over from Japan. In fact, I think I just read Scott Boras is going to represent him, and he will be posted on November 19th. That's a Mets signing. The Mets are going to add a pitcher. I'm not sure which one they're going to add in free agency. And the track record of David Stearns is to go big game hunting for a Japanese pitcher.
Right.
So I'm going to guess that Tatsuya Imai will be a New York Met. Tiki's going to say Dodgers.
You know I'm going to say Dodgers. The Los Angeles Dodgers. Creating Japan, that would be East.
Shaun Morash.
San Francisco Giants.
Tommy Lugauer.
Dodgers.
Dodgers. And finally, with pitchers, I want to include Devin Williams because he's a Yankee and there's some intrigue. I'm going to go with the Giants. I think the Giants will make a move or two. He's their closer. Remember, they traded a lot of their bullpen late last year. I know the Dodgers are going to be interested, but because they signed Edwin Díaz, they're not going to sign Devin too. Devin Williams to the San Francisco Giants. Tiki.
I think he stays.
Stays with the Yankees. Shaun Morash.
Atlanta Braves.
Wow. Atlanta. And Tommy Lugauer.
Devin Williams will stay with the Yankees.
And finally, I included two pitchers in our free agency bingo because they are hotly rumored to be traded. Freddie Peralta is one of those guys. And I heard their GM speak the other day. Matt Arnold, I think is his name.
And he's making nothing right this year.
He's making nothing, which leads me to think they're not going to trade him. Freddie Peralta remains with the Milwaukee Brewers.
I can't disagree with that.
Shaun Morash.
Mets.
Mets. All right. Tommy Lugauer.
He stays in Milwaukee, Peralta.
And finally, Tarik Skubal. Here's what I think is going to happen. I think that the Tigers don't really want to trade him, but they also know they're not going to be able to sign him.
Yeah.
And because of that, it's going to take a big offer. I listened to David Stearns yesterday, not just the clips we played on Evan and Tiki, but I did a Rico Bronya that you can download wherever you download your podcast. We listen to every answer. And he seemed, when talking about acquiring an ace via the trade market,
right.
We got the prospects. We're ready to go. It sounded like someone who's got all his bullets and is ready to fire them. And so I think the Tigers are going to try to balance trying to win with trading Tarik Skubal. And I think the Mets could present an offer that allows them to do that by trading them major league players that help them now while also giving them prospects of the future. Tarik Skubal is going to be a New York Met. That's my prediction. Tiki Barber.
I think that Tarik Skubal is going to stay with the Detroit Tigers until the trade deadline, and then he'll be a Met.
Wow. So the Tigers will struggle, make the pivot. Mets are in it. July 31st,
Right.
hellstorm.
Yeah, they're not gonna be on their 87-90 win streak or whatever projection like they were last year, and they're gonna trade him.
So I will say that obviously we are going to count these results as soon as people sign, but we're going to keep that as a bonus. So you could possibly win it in late July.
Nice.
If Skubal stays with the Tigers and then gets traded to the Mets. Shaun Morash, Tarik Skubal.
I also think he gets moved at the trade deadline, but to the Phillies.
Oh, jeez.
That would suck.
That would suck. And Tommy Lugauer, Tarik Skubal.
The Mets will trade for Tarik Skubal in the offseason. This offseason.
All right, there you go. That is our MLB free agency and trade bingo. And we'll see how we do. Now, unlike the NFL, where we wait till the end of NFL free agency and check in, we'll check in as soon as these guys sign. Right. So, because it's going to be spread out over the next 4 months.
Yeah, the last one's gonna happen in January 20th.
You're being nice.
I know.
It's going to be like February. It's actually going to be like March. Like someone on that list that we just talked about is going to sign in the month of March or late February.
That's just crazy. As a player, I know you got to be nervy, and you're going to listen to whatever your agent says, but that's just hard. That would be hard for a player.
Well, I think in football it's so different because you're learning a playbook and you're learning a system and you're learning a scheme.
Right.
In baseball,
You're meeting your teammates. You got to develop a camaraderie, all that other happy, what they talk about. But baseball's different. It's an individual sport, an individual team sport.
Now, one other thing before we get back to your phone calls is I was doing some reading earlier this morning, and I don't know what to do with this because, with all due respect, Randy Miller of NJ.com is not the most reliable. But he's a reporter, and he's been covering the team for a long time. And Randy Miller decided to unleash this little nugget about Paul Skenes, in which apparently Randy Miller talked to an unnamed Pittsburgh Pirates player, okay? And that's the only reason I'm going to bring this up, because he did quote somebody. According to a 2024-2025 Pittsburgh Pirate player, so take that for what it's worth. Who that player is, I have no idea. But a player who played on the Pirates at times in 24 and 25 said this about Paul Skenes. Paul Skenes has no confidence the Pirates are ever going to win, and that he's, quote, hoping for a trade before he gets to free agency after the 2029 season. Okay, I don't think any of us are stunned by that. This unnamed player and teammate of Skenes then goes on to say, trust me, he wants to play for the Yankees. I've heard him say it multiple times.
And just for remembrance sake, it was his girlfriend, Livvy Dunne, who tried to buy a co-op in New York City.
That is true.
Famously got rejected, but now has bought one.
Yeah, I think she bought a different one.
So she lives here.
And not just any co-op, Babe Ruth's former home.
Yes, that was the one she got rejected from.
True.
But she now lives in New York City, allegedly.
She does. Now, the story goes on to say, a person of knowledge to the pitcher's past intentions. Okay, whoever that is. I just want everyone to know the sources before we can discuss this, or you can dismiss it or care about it. A person of knowledge to the pitcher's past intentions said, Paul Skenes grew up a big Angels fan. He's talked about going to the Arizona Fall League when he was 9 or 10 and getting Mike Trout's autograph there. I used to think Anaheim was where Skenes wanted to go. Now, Randy goes on, and this is why I gave him some credit, because he's doing interviews. He's giving you the info. That they spoke to a Pirates executive who said, I dismiss it, but I understand it. What we're going to focus on is just what do we do to win games with him in a Pirates uniform? So the Pirates are dismissing this. The Pirates are not trading Paul Skenes anytime soon, but it's your first little nugget on potentially what Skenes wants, which may well be the New York Yankees. Tiki, knowing all that information, your thoughts?
Well, I mean, the Pirates were the fourth worst team record-wise in Major League Baseball a year ago. And do you see it getting any better anytime soon? So, of course, you're going to pine to come to New York, go to a winner. I mean, this is the Yankees, but it also could be the Mets. But ultimately, this is a deal that the Pirates have all the cards in right now.
100%. And they can trade him.
I don't know when or if this will happen, but it feels like it's inevitable, even if it's 2 years down the line.
I think you nailed it. So Paul Skenes is a free agent in 2029. That's a very long time from now. We also don't know what the new CBA is going to look like, which is why the Pittsburgh Pirates are not trading him right now. Why would you? What if by some miracle, and it's not going to happen, but by some miracle, there's a salary cap? Like, what if that's the case? It could change everything. So it would make no sense for the Pittsburgh Pirates to trade him right now. But assuming there isn't a major change to the MLB CBA, he's going to be traded. It's just a matter of when. It's a matter of when do they want to cash those chips in. Here's the bad news for Shaun, who's got a little smirk on his face, and every Yankee fan. I don't think Paul Skenes' wants mean anything. I don't think it matters.
He doesn't have the control.
He doesn't have the control, and also, I think he's a guy who's going to get to free agency. So even if your answer is, well, he won't extend if he goes there, I don't think it matters. First of all, I think a team would trade for him even without an extension. He's that good. And I also think that even with a team like the Yankees, as much as he wants to be there, I don't think he'd extend. I think he's going to want to get to free agency and get $500 million or whatever that turns out to be. So while I think this is nice to know, and it shows that he's not afraid of New York, that he's not one of those guys who would just use the Yankees and go elsewhere, I think it would be similar to Garrett Cole. Garrett Cole wanted to be a New York Yankee. He didn't get there until he got to free agency, and he only got there because the Yankees offered him the most money. So I think it's great information to have, but I don't think it means Paul Skenes is going to be a Yankee anytime soon. That's how I interpret it.
Okay. All right. I think that he will be a Yankee. I think that the paying him part will coincide with the fact that you're not going to be paying Garrett Cole anymore at that point. And there's a major, major difference between Paul Skenes and all these other free agents we talked about. We're rooting for love because unlike these other baseball players who marry their college love or high school love, Paul Skenes' love don't need Paul Skenes' money. So if you love Livvy Dunne that much and she wants New York, ultimately when free agency hits and you want to be with her, you follow Livvy Dunne to New York.
Yeah, but the problem you're running into is that
New York. By the way, do we know why?
Well, why wouldn't you want to be in New York? It's the greatest city in the world.
By the time she gets to her mid to late 20s in 2029, I got to think what she's doing now, the future marketing opportunities and all that stuff. I think she wants to be based there.
So I think New York is city is short term. Then you have a family.
Oh, then she comes to Westchester? Lives across the street from me?
Exactly.
Well, she's from Jersey, so she probably has a ton of family.
Oh,
She's
that
gonna
makes
come
sense.
to Jersey.
I think that what you're
She could
kind
be
of
a Philly.
She could. Well, I think that New York has 2 teams.
Queens is
So,
nice this time of year.
I think if it's
Yeah,
kind of like Juan Soto, if he gets to free agency and the Mets decide in 2030, I don't know if they will, to outbid the New York Yankees, then they would probably get him.
Yeah, I mean,
he didn't grow up as a Yankee fan. Keep that in mind. He grew up as an Angels fan, so I don't think
I
there's a
understand.
fandom thing attached to it.
Look, when you want to be an all-time great pitcher and you're signing with New York, like Evan, no offense. The Mets Soto thing was great, and Boris could throw a ton of money at him. I think the Yankees would be loaded for bear once the Cole contract
I
comes.
do have
really
to take issue with one thing you just said,
And the Mets.
and you're going down the wrong roll with me. Who's the greatest pitcher in New York baseball history?
Oh, that's easy. Roger Clemens.
No. Most of his career
Oh, I'm
was
sorry.
elsewhere, like when
I'm
they
sorry.
pitched in New York.
You're right. Mariano Rivera.
Okay, that's a. I can't even argue that one. All right, who's the greatest starting pitcher in New York baseball history?
Tom Seaver.
It's either Tom Seaver or Christy Mathewson.
Yeah.
Okay, and we'll put Christy aside. That's a Met. The Mets have a great history of starting pitchers. The Yankees' history is sluggers. Like, no offense to Ron Guidry or Whitey Ford.
Okay,
They've
so
had plenty of good pitchers, but to bring up to be a legend, you got to be a Yankee. That's not true.
Well, how
if it was
many-
a slugger,
okay.
I'd probably agree with you. Not as a pitcher.
Counterpoint. The New York Yankees are such a legendary franchise that could also spend money. In 2025, now let's play 2029. Man, there's not much room left to make your mark to be the greatest at something as a New York Yankee. To be the greatest New York Yankee starting pitcher of all time is something still open for discussion.
That's fair. I'll
Good
give you that
counter.
one.
Good counterpoint.
That's a fair counter. I don't think this changes anything. If it's true, by the way. And, you know, we gave you all the info. It's an unnamed Pirates player. That guy could be a minor leaguer who showed up in spring training. And I point that out because I don't know. Like, was that Brian Reynolds speaking? I don't have no idea. Was that a single-A player who happened to brush aside by Paul Skenes at spring training once, and technically that's a teammate because they were teammates in spring training? I have no idea. So I always leave that to you guys. You have the information. You decide if you want to believe it or not. Even if I choose to believe it, I just don't think it matters that much. I think that, A, the Pirates aren't trading him anytime soon, and B, he doesn't have control over where he's traded.
Right, and that's the biggest thing. The Pirates have all the juice here. Period.
They will trade him to the highest bidder.
Right.
And then it comes down to which package do they find more appealing.
If you took out Paul Skenes' name and inserted Mikal Bridges' name, this conversation sounds very familiar.
No. I was arrogant about Mikal Bridges. I'm not arrogant here. I'm just saying none of this matters.
Because you possessed him in Brooklyn.
And I could not see a scenario where he was traded to the Knicks. I'm not even saying that. I think he could be traded to the Yankees. The Yankees could offer a great package. I'm saying that the comments don't change anything. So don't interpret that as me saying he won't be a Yankee or can't be a Yankee. I'm just telling you I don't think it changes that much. What I said about Bridges was there's no chance he'll ever be a Knick. Stop talking about him. And I was very wrong. I'm certainly not saying that about Skenes. I just don't think the comments change anything.
Also, the Mets and Yankees are on the same playing field. The Knicks and Nets are not. Sorry. I didn't mean to take a shot at you there, Evan. I know you're in a nice mood today. You went to the game. You caught a stray there. I apologize.
Well,
but he's trying to make it like the Yankees are this great destination. We know the Knicks are the destination in town basketball.
I don't want to get into the weeds on it because it's irrelevant, but I don't think that makes any sense either. But again, it's irrelevant. We're talking about Paul Skenes, not about the Nets trading Mikal Bridges. But thank you for bringing up something irrelevant, Shaun, and then having Tommy decide, let me crap on the Nets while I'm at it.
All right, you like the Rangers or the Lightning tonight, as long as you're doing
The Lightning.
All right.
Jeffrey in Waldwick. What's up, Jeffrey?
Hey, what's up, guys? How you guys doing? I love the show.
Thank you, Jeffrey.
What's up, man?
Hey, just wanted to ask you guys a quick question. Well, I actually want to ask Tommy. Tommy, what package would you put together to bring Paul Skenes to New York if it were to happen today? What's your package?
For the Mets.
Thank you, guys.
I feel like he just wanted to ask Tommy about a package. But you know what? Enlighten him, Tommy. How big is your package for Paul Skenes?
Huge. I mean, we're talking massive. You know what I mean?
The most massive package you've ever seen.
I would say, some are a grower, some are a shower. This is both, this one. You got to do whatever you can. If Juan Soto's mom got one suite, then Livvy Dunne and the Real Housewives of the Hamptons, they get 6 suites. We're going all the way here with this.
Would you offer Nolan McClain?
I think you have to.
Yeah, you have to.
I think you have to.
No, I think you have to.
Yeah.
And I think that goes with Cam Schlittler with the Yankees.
Right.
I think that a player like this, and he's not going to be available right now.
No, that's what, are we talking right this second? Because it's different because you have Skenes under control for a couple years.
I am talking right this second while acknowledging they're not trading him right this second, so
Right.
it's more of a meaningless hypothetical. But hey, it's sports talk radio. Isn't that what this is? I think he'll likely be traded in 2027, 2028. And I think that our discussion on packages will look different then. Because once Nolan McLean's been in the league for multiple years, and by the way, the control that the Pirates would have over him is less because he's now pitched in the major leagues, he'd also be less appealing. So I think that the package that will eventually get Paul Skenes to the Mets, Yankees, or anyone else is far different than the one we'd put together right now.
Right.
But I also don't think they're entertaining it right now. But how far would you go with that package?
It's a huge package. And honestly, Steve Cohen, I know he's going to bring out the big package. So I'm going to go McLean. I'm going to go Sproat. I'm going to go Alvarez. I'm going to go Peterson. I'm going to go Mr. Met. I'm going to go
Jet
Carson
Williams?
Bench. Can't trade Jet Williams.
What do you mean can't
Because
trade?
it's an all-time great baseball player name.
Thank
it's
you.
like a creative player name when you were a kid, when you were playing MLB The Show. So Jet's non-tradable. Other than that, other than Soto, Lindor.
You would trade anything?
Yeah, of course.
Yeah. I think he's one of those guys where the Yankee fan would say the same
Where's
thing.
Jet playing ultimately when he makes it?
You want my guess or you want me to?
Your guess.
Second base.
Yeah.
I think he can be a super utility player, but I would probably guess, especially with the way the Mets are made up right now, he'd be the second baseman. Let's go to Michael in East Brunswick. Hey, Michael.
Hey, guys, love the show.
Appreciate it.
We're talking 3 years. He goes to free agency. There's so many things can happen. I mean, the Pittsburgh Pirates, they could put the team up for sale. Bezos could buy him. They could re-sign him. His arm could blow out. Obviously, not rooting for any injuries. And let's be honest, the little brother Yankees could be a dumpster fire by then anyway. So what are we really talking about here?
Well, you're right. The world could look so different when he's finally
That was
traded.
a re-salvo back at the Yanks. I get it.
Well, I mean,
Hey, look, he's not wrong.
And with all due respect, the only salvos that were thrown was started by Shaun. We were having a very fair discussion about if we even believe this man's reporting into does it mean anything? And then it turned into Shaun wanted to take shots at the Mets.
Right.
Then he mistakenly brought up Miguel Bridges, so Tommy wanted to take shots at the Nets. And it became a shot-taking exercise when the truth is it's not. It's very similar to Juan Soto. Shots were never taken. I just told you, and I was right. Juan Soto being traded didn't mean anything. He was always going to go to free agency. And ultimately, I look at the business of Paul Skenes very similarly. I don't think his comments mean anything. By the way, they're not his comments, but the reported comments of someone who once bought him a bottle of water to his locker at a spring training game mean anything.
I agree.
I'm clearly giving you my opinion on who I think told Randy this.
Yeah, clearly. I have to defend my presence right here. I understand. Yeah, I'm poking fun of the Mets. But ultimately, when you have a conversation about the difference between the Yankees and Mets, let's not hurt Met fans' feelings here. The Yankees have a different allure. They do, whether you want to admit it or not.
The ultimate allure is money, though, and I thought Juan Soto teach you that. Players go for the top dollar,
Evan,
man.
it's taught.
What?
It's taught.
What did I say?
Teached.
Oh,
Apparently nobody teached you that.
yeah, I think the biggest buck usually wins. And in this case, the biggest package will usually win.
Well, I think the biggest package might be winning for Livvy Dunne, and that's why she choose the Yankees.
Inappropriate. I mean, we are a family show.
He's talking about the financial package.
Oh, is that what it was?
Yes,
Okay.
exactly.
When we